it's not like it's never going to happen. It's almost a matter of time before you get hit, right? And so what is it that your company offers that you think your clients get the most value from?
We know that in professional service firms, law firms, accounting firms, usually engineering firms, they should be spending 6 to 12% of their gross revenue on their entire IT and cybersecurity budget. And of that benchmark, 10% should be committed to cybersecurity. Okay. Now, so if you're listening and you're only spending 3%, you're probably not spending on your IT enough. You're not getting maximum return on investment. And if you're not at that 10% number, I promise you, you've got gaps in your cybersecurity defense. And that's the very first step in the NIST cybersecurity framework. You've got to do an assessment. And from a cybersecurity perspective, which is what NIST CSF is about, you've got to know the condition of your ship before you set sail, before you open the door tomorrow. Understand what your weaknesses, your vulnerabilities are. And our approach is to take that to the deepest level we can in an organization. We call it a 3 pillars approach. We're going to do a gap analysis or an assessment of the IT infrastructure from a ROI perspective. And then we're going to do a vulnerability assessment from a security perspective. But the most important part, and the only reason the other two can be fixed and the only reason the other two work, is because of governance, corporate governance, policies, procedures. It's the guidelines of everything. And that's the third pillar in our approach whenever we engage with a new client and continually engage with clients, is to understanding what are their business objectives. We do a deep dive into their organization, because your IT and your cybersecurity, it has limited effectiveness if you're not deeply engaged with management. You've got to align both of those things with all parts of management.
Well, I do have a question on what do you see some of the most common challenges your clients are facing usually before they start working with you, and how do you help solve those?
Well, we do a lot of continuing education, like CLEs for attorneys, law firms, accounting societies, engineering societies, these professional service firms. And so they get credit. They have to get credit for these courses. And so I spend, one of my roles, my primary role these days, is to be the chief evangelist. And the biggest hurdle is getting people to understand the sheer scale of the risk. It's getting over that mindset. Why would anybody want to attack me? Getting back to too small, middle of nowhere, blah, blah, blah. And that's not the reality. The vast majority of attacks are small to medium-sized businesses.